Hey everyone, hope everything is going well. Today, I wanted to discuss market breadth, and this is at marketwatch.com. They took a tweet from Richard Bernstein, and it said investors who think stock market is somehow vastly different from 1990 to 2000 bubbles aren't simply paying attention. And they're looking at market breadth. And according to this article, it says, according to FactSet, data analyzed by MarketWatch, shares of just 149 of the 500 companies included in the index had outperformed as of Wednesday's close, and when the holding was on a gain of 12.25% year to date. And what they're saying is this is about 30% of the index, as it shows here. And they're saying that that's somewhat of a low number. And last time you saw that was late 90s, right before the tech bubble bursted, or right around that time. And what's quite interesting is I took the 500 S&P companies and I found it online and looked at the closing price as of 6/7, which was Friday. And what I did was I looked at the portfolio composition of all of these stocks, right? It's like a one. And over here, the first 10 companies, it's Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Meta, Alphabet. First 10 companies, 35% of the S&P 500 based on how the S&P 500 set up. So if these companies do well, the best of the best, then the market are going to rock and roll. And if you go further out, the first basically 30 companies, it's about 50% based on how the S&P 500 set up. The majority of the weighting is in what is perceived to be better companies out there. Now, I did a weighted amount, and this weighted amount equals one. But ultimately, what I did was I took the price of the stock times how much it is in the portfolio. And if you just do the math of this, just the weighted percentage, the first, 30 some companies, it's about 65% of the S&P 500 weighted wise. That is utterly insane. And people will be like, well, that's always been the case. Yes. But now we're at a point where, hey, if these big companies start to do much better than these companies that are on the lower end of the S&P 500 index, that is something to watch out for. And one of the reasons why I'm not shorting uh, more aggressively is when I see stocks like Nvidia. Nvidia has been doing well, right? And they are 7% of the S&P 500. When you see Microsoft is still holding up, when you see Apple 6% of the S&P 500, it was up yesterday $2.41. I have it as a disclosure, an option position, which I probably will roll over, and just all of that, right? It's saying it's what 34%. And the reason why Nvidia is like that is because of the high stock price. Now that will change. This weighted, it could be skewed uh, based on this observation. I know stock split is underway, so people will be like, well, that's not a fair way. Well, there are other manners as well to look at this. Now, with the stock split, it will be less, but what I like doing though, I still like looking at the percentage wise. And like I said, the first 32 companies in this index, it's 50%. That's not going to change tomorrow. Now, if NVIDIA starts to roll over, Microsoft rolls over, Apple rolls over, you're going to see that in the S&P 500. One of the last things I wanted to look at, sorry I don't have my mic on me right now, but let's look at the X or the RSP. This is an equal weighted ETF, meaning that they're looking at the S&P 500, but instead of Microsoft getting 7% of the portfolio, it's going to get 1/500th of the portfolio. And I want to look at from a different time frame. I want to look at year to date. Year to date, equal weighted S&P 500 is up 4.25%. Let's look at the SPY, for instance. What about year to date on that? It's about 13%. So there's a divergence over there. Let's look at a year. Year, the S&P 500 is up 24%. What about this? It's up 13%. Divergence, divergence, divergence. Now, once again, I'm not telling you to short, but the longer this gets, the divergence in the breadth, that's going to be my signal to, hey, don't go. I mean, it's time for me then probably to go short. I'm not telling you what to do, though. I'm going to do what's best for me. And with this negative yield curve, with the commercial real estate bust, this is not looking good. Even people who have been bullish for all of these years should take a look at someone like Avi Gilbert. And he's doing articles like the New York Fed is getting concerned about banks. No one's paying attention. He's exactly right. What is everyone paying attention about? They're paying attention about Caitlin Clark, and they're paying attention about Angel Reese, who plays for the Chicago Sky. You know, I'm a Chicago guy, so, you know, therefore I'm going to be a Chicago fan. But this is what I see on my YouTube all the time. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark got left off of the Olympics team, right? While the controlled media wants to distract people and have people fight, this is what they should be looking at. Why is the New York Fed getting concerned about banks? Why is this smart technical analyst, Avi Gilbert, who has been bullish for the past decade, most of the time, why is he ringing the bells? Hey, look, something is wrong. You know, like the phrase, the British are coming, the British are coming. Well, what's coming? Panic is coming, panic is coming, panic is coming, right? Doesn't mean that it's going to happen right now, but it's around the corner, in my opinion. Okay, we could have a melt up. Sure, fine. But this is the larger dynamics of the economy we should be looking at. Inverted yield curve. We have this going on. Poor market breadth. We're starting to see layoffs. We're seeing the jobs that are created are part-time. This is not going to end well. And that's why I'm saying, hey, look, I would look into how to secure your portfolio with a financial advisor. That's what I would be doing. I would be looking at some banks that will probably withstand this next crash. Anyways, let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you later. See ya. Bye.